All right, welcome back, crime fighters. It is time for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place for all of us by helping us lock up some of the bad guys and solve some crimes. I'm your host, Chris Wright, along with Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Amerson. Sheriff, it's good to see you.
Good to be here, Chris, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. It's getting real close now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I'm excited and looking forward to the fun.
It is the most wonderful time of the year, but unfortunately, not everything about this time of the year is wonderful. We have some things that aren't so great going on as well, don't we?
Yes, always there's some difficulties, folks, and we want to do a good reminder for you. Unfortunately, the criminals don't take a holiday, and telephone scams and other scams are still ongoing, and they try to take advantage of your willingness to help others needy, where they'll say you're going to give to charity, they're going to ask you for money for different causes, and unfortunately, it's not going to charity. So we urge you not to fall victim to those and the IRS scam where they're going to come arrest you because you owe the tax man money.
My dad got one of those calls here recently.
Had some on our answering machine. You got the ones where the people are calling and saying your family member's in jail in Fort Walton Beach or somewhere. You need the money, and folks fall victim to that. There's a number of different ways, but folks, just be cautious. Be careful about jumping on that, and talk to your senior adult family members to tell them about these things so they won't be surprised. That's who they are deliberately targeting.
All right, well, a few folks who probably were surprised are going to show up on the screen now. These are the folks that we caught in the last week with help from you.
Thank you all, folks, for once again putting people in jail, those that have taken advantage of others.
3 more this week. 3,556 is our total at this point as we're closing in on 12 years of doing this show. Wow.
12 years. What support we've gotten from the Calhoun County community.
It's been awesome. It really has. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Anderson Coin Laundry on Quintard across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Anderson Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford for the best cars and best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston Stroud with Family Links, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. The kids will be home for the holidays soon. You're trying to stay optimistic, but you can't shake the feeling that this winter will be like all the rest. The children will argue, make messes, or spend all their time with friends instead of family. You're busy breaking up fights and doing extra homework. Whatever happened to enjoying a memorable, stress-free holiday together? These next couple of weeks may be a vacation for your kids, but for you, it feels like a second job. Tension levels can rise dramatically during the holidays. Your kids might not have school for a few weeks, but you likely still have work and other responsibilities. This creates a conflict of priorities that can upset the balance of your home. When this happens year after year, it creates a pattern. It's common for parents to interpret these patterns by forming expectations. You get so used to coming home to an argument or a messy house, you start to expect it. You may feel on edge and experience anxiety, frustration, or anger. When you're in such an emotional state, you're likely to react to your child or anyone for that matter. To be a calm parent, it helps to look at the big picture. Step back and view your family patterns. Widen your lenses and stay objective. If you feel like you know what's going to happen when you get home, then great. You can use this awareness to your advantage by forming a plan ahead of time. If you know you're coming home to a messy house or an argument, take some time to prepare your response. It also helps to repeat phrases like, "This too shall pass," or "This is how my child is dealing with his own anxiety and I don't need to get sucked into it." Remember, pause and take a deep breath. It's in that space that you have control. You have the power to decide how to react. If you need help, use support and resources. Also, contact Family Links anytime at 256-820-5911. We're here to help you become a calmer parent.
Welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up this week, Ricky Graham. Mr. Graham, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for probation revocation on possession of marijuana second. And meet Stacy Donaldson. Mr. Donaldson, last known to be living in Alexandria. He's wanted for probation violation on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And here is Michael Sprayberry. Mr. Sprayberry, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted for failure to appear on use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Take a look at Jeremy Hinson. Mr. Hinson, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted for failure to appear on negotiating a worthless negotiable instrument or bad checks. And this is Lewis Hawkins. Mr. Hawkins, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation revocation on receiving stolen property third. And we'd like you to meet Brandon Carter. Mr. Carter, last known to be living in East Aboga. He's wanted for failure to pay child support, the face of a deadbeat dad. And this is Dustin Shears. Mr. Shears, last known to be living in Oxford. He's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property second, menacing, DUI, and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And last up for our first half, Megan Wilson. Miss Wilson, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for probation revocation on possession and receipt of a controlled substance ×2. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, we will have some more bad guys for you here in just a little bit, Sheriff, but we always like to pause a little bit from the bad guys and talk about some good things as well.
Really good things, happy things coming in the community. Unfortunately, I'm not really talented in that area, so but I am one of those people that appreciate good music.
We've got Shannon Jenkins from United Way with us, and also Chris Henley, who's the organist at my church, Anniston First United Methodist Church. And Chris, I understand we're going to have an opportunity here for a lot of people to go in and enjoy some Christmas music at the church.
Yes, we're going to be presenting the first part of Handel's Messiah, which will be a combined chorus of anybody in the community that wants to come. When you enter the church, it will be sectioned off with soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. And you can enter your section. You pay
I would walk to the soprano section.
Exactly. Absolutely. When you first get there, you would pay $5 to sing. And scores are available for purchase if you don't already have a Messiah score. Everyone should have one. But if you don't, we have access for one.
Sure, if you've got like 5 or 6 laying around, right?
That's right. And I would be in the category where you pay 10 for you not to sing.
And you know, one thing that's important to know is you don't have to sing at this. You know, you can sit behind the choir and just listen. You know, we have a beautiful space at Anniston First Methodist, and so you'll hear the sound beautifully.
Yeah, and of course the $5, that's why Shannon's here, right?
That is why I'm here. You know, this is the second year for this event to happen. And it's a really neat event. You know, last year we went, of course, to be a part of it because we were the recipient of those donations, United Way was, and it was the neatest thing. You know, no rehearsal. This is just folks coming together to join in and
but
sing.
We've been rehearsing this all of our lives.
Absolutely, the Hallelujah Chorus. Who hasn't joined in with that? And it's just a really neat thing. And it's so great that they have chosen United Way to give back to. One of the things that I always say this time of year, it's such a giving season, and that's what's on people's mind. But you know, in February and March and April, when that's not on people's minds anymore, you know, how are those food pantries stocked? How do we make sure the Anniston Soup Bowl continues to deliver those meals, you know, to our homeless and folks who are hungry? And that's why United Way is there, to fill that gap, to make sure those services continue all year. And so this is a great way to come and enjoy this music, this season, and give back.
When we make that donation, is it going to anything specific that the United Way supports, or is this to the general United Way fund that you use for all the different things you support?
That's right. It's going to United Way. You know, in Calhoun County, we're very local. We are local right here. 99% of everything raised here stays here, and that supports 19 agencies right here in our community, and that runs the gamut from, like we talk about, you know, our food pantries, those who are hungry, all the way down to, you know, those seeking shelter from domestic violence or children who have been abused. You know, it's really a comprehensive network of services that we want to make sure is there for people in our community.
Sheriff, we were talking at the beginning of the show about so many people that will call you on the phone or try other methods to get you to make donations. And there are some of them that are legitimate. Sure. A lot of them are scams. But even a lot of the ones that are legitimate, yes, you may be giving some money that part of it goes to the organization, but a lot of it, in most cases, ends up going to telemarketers and such instead of staying here in our community.
Absolutely, and it's run by people in our community who's benefited to organizations I'm associated with, are the recipients of those funds, and they provide wonderful services to the community. The Family Links, the Children's Center, many others. So when you think about giving, think not just it's a United Way, but it's to those entities that you support.
And they don't just write you a check because you say, hey, we need the money. You have to go in there every year and prove that your organization is actually providing those services and being good stewards of those dollars, so that they will continue supporting you.
Absolutely. You got to have the financial proof of what your operations are, what the money goes for, and what services you're delivering, so it matters.
Absolutely.
How are we this year as far as the fundraising has gone for United Way?
We've had some great increases this year. We are still working to wrap up our campaign. It always goes a little into 2016, but at this point we're ahead of where we were last year. So we are hoping to have a significant increase.
All right. Well, that's one side of the coin. We're ahead of it on collections and donations. Where are we on the need?
You know, the need will always be there, unfortunately. We try really hard to invest in, you know, programs that will be proactive and shorten those lines and will be a good investment for our future. But we never leave those basic needs and safety net services behind, because there will always be people who are coming up against tragedy in their life, disasters, things like our children. You know, those innocent kids who have been abused. We've got to make sure those services are there, and that need is always great.
And the Bible says that it always will be. I mean,
absolutely.
It says in the Bible, the needy will always be amongst you. So as much as we do, it's not ever going to be over, and we can never say, hey, you haven't done your job because this isn't gone. We know it's going to be an ongoing thing.
Absolutely.
And you can have fun and enjoy beautiful music like you do this.
Absolutely.
I do want to talk more about the music here. We need to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll find out more about this Messiah sing-in on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Anderson Coin Laundry on Quintard across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Anderson Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford for the best cars and best price.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Michelle Partner. Ms. Partner, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for probation revocation on soliciting and committing prostitution. And meet Latricia Ridley. Miss Ridley, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted on probation revocation on criminal mischief third. And take a look at Freddie Lynch. Mr. Lynch, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for probation violation on possession and receipt of a controlled substance and failure to appear on possession of forged instruments second. And here is Gerald Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on child support, another deadbeat dad. And this is Quentin Joshua. Mr. Joshua, last known to be living in Anniston, also wanted for failure to appear on child support. And meet Tommy Pugh. Mr. Pugh, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for theft of property second. And last up in our Crime Stoppers list tonight, Martha Stansel. Miss Stansel, last known to be living in Anniston, she's wanted for domestic violence third. And that's it for our lineup. If you know the whereabouts of these people, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414.
All right, we've got some more crime fighting for you to do with the Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up in just a few minutes, and we'll have our crazy criminal of the week. Sheriff, it's a good one again.
Oh, they give us plenty of opportunities there.
All right. We've had a change on the set. Kathy Murphy is joining us now, who is it the official title, is it Director of Music or what?
Director of Music Ministries.
Director of Music Ministries at Anniston First United Methodist Church.
Yes,
and Sunday night, I've just got to say, blew me away every year, the Oh Holy Night performance. That's when I know it's Christmas.
Me too. Thank you. Me too.
Wonderful. And so many different gifted people from within Anniston First Methodist, and also some great musicians from just out in the community. I guess you know everybody that's ever picked up an instrument in Calhoun County.
Well, I try to make it a point to do that. And a lot of them are JSU students. And as a music educator of 41 years, I'm very interested in giving that experience, the experience that I had as a young person and a college student, to JSU students. They're wonderfully prepared.
I don't want to talk too much, though, about what's already happened that people can't take advantage of now. Of course, it'll be around next year.
Second Sunday night of the month.
But this year, we've got the Handel's Messiah Sing-In. We talked a little bit about that with Chris here.
Okay.
But just for people that are just tuning in and may have missed that, what exactly is going to be happening and when is it happening?
It will happen on Sunday afternoon, December 20th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at First United Methodist Church in Anniston. And we began this ministry last year. The chancel choir wanted to do an extended ministry. And we always like to do choruses from Messiah, and we decided so much music, so little time, so we began doing the Messiah sing-in. I had an experience with that living in New Jersey. In Philadelphia at the Academy of Music, they would do a sing-in every year, and one year I had the opportunity to be a part of it. So I ran across the poster and it came into my mind, and I said, we need to do a sing-in. And I thought, this will just be a yearly, just 1 year thing, but it was so well received, and people would say, are we going to do it next year? I thought, well, I guess we will. And United Way has been just great in allowing us to do it and supporting us, and we hope to make it a bigger event this year.
Of course, as many voices as we can bring in, the better it'll be.
That's right.
We've got to have a lot of voices to match that big organ.
That's right. That's right. Christopher was kind of baptized by fire last year. He had maybe a week after exams to learn the whole score, and it was very admirable. But now he's played it a few times. So,
Chris, let's talk a little bit about the organ itself, because that really is a treasure that we have in our community, and a lot of people who haven't been very recently may not have heard the true old organ in all of its glory.
Right. The organ at Anniston First Methodist was first built in 1956 by the Herman Schlicker organ firm. And just, I believe it was last year, I think the project started 2 years ago.
It did.
A little before I came to Anniston. The organ was refurbished and restored to original condition with a few minor alterations to bring it a little bit more up to date, such as the way you had to turn the organ on is there was a little key and you had to get it at the right angle, and I could never get it right, so we replaced that with a toggle switch, which was really easy. You know, historically speaking, the organ has always been used in the liturgical function. It's always played for church, back from the time of the Gregorian chant in the early Catholic Church in the 12th century. Johann Sebastian Bach really revolutionized the use of organ in church worship by just making organs in different ways. Bach was really influential in the design of organs. People don't really realize that he was not an organ builder, but a consultant on many organ projects. I had the privilege of this past summer playing some organs that Bach actually had a personal hand in Germany. Organ has also been used for accompanying large choral works. In the case of Messiah, which was written in 1741 and first premiered in Dublin, Ireland in 1742, it was composed for a small chamber orchestra, which would be strings, a little bit of brass, some woodwind. But we're not using that for this performance. We're using an organ-only version. The first score for a keyboard reduction was written in 1912 by a man named T. Tertius Noble. And the score that I'm actually using part of that score from 1912, and I'm also using another score that was edited in 1992 by a man named Watkins Shaw. And basically what they do is they take all of the orchestral parts and cram them into something that you can play with 2 hands and 2 feet.
Okay. Now you say 1741 was when it was composed, which seems like a long time ago, but on the other hand, it seems like this music came from 2,000 years ago. When I imagine the shepherds out there guarding their flock by night, this is what I imagine them hearing, the Messiah. I think we're all that way, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, closest we're going to get to an angelic choir.
Yes, yes.
The interesting thing about the shepherds, there's a little movement called the Pastoral Symphony, which actually precedes the text of "There were shepherds abiding in the field." And all of that is to set the stage of imagining the shepherds, on a little country hill. And it's all really simple music. And the soprano is over there just singing her notes, just going to town. And all of that is to set the stage for the big chorus that follows, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill to men."
And we want that chorus to be as big as it can possibly be. So we're almost out of time, but again, the most important details: when, where, how.
December 20th, 2 p.m., Anniston First United Methodist Church. Pay your $5 at the door, whether you sing or listen.
All right, that's going to be great. Yes. Chris, Kathy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Thank you.
We will be back in just a few moments to have our Crime Stoppers segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
homeless,
Broken. Sad.
Just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put your deer stalkers on and help our investigators with these cases. First up, on December 7th, this residence on Bethel Church Road in Piedmont was broken into. They got away with a wallet. And here, sometime between December 13th and December 14th, a black and red 100cc dirt bike was stolen from this residence on Hammonds Drive in Alexandria. And last up in your caseload this week, between November 25th and December 11th, a blue Jeep Wrangler was broken into. The vehicle was parked at this residence on Roy Webb Road in Piedmont. Two 12-inch Memphis Pro subwoofers and an amplifier were stolen from that Jeep. If you have any information on these cases, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers, 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Our crazy criminal of the week is Mr. Jasper Harrison from Edgewater, Florida. And Sheriff, he was growing marijuana plants in his home. He heard helicopters up above, looks out, sees police helicopters up there and police in the neighborhood. He knew the gig was up. So he left the house, hands in the air, don't shoot, coming out peacefully. They weren't there for him. They were looking for somebody a couple of houses down.
We'll take surrenders whenever they occur, so I'm sure they accommodated him.
Does that count as probable cause to go in and look in the house?
Yeah, when you say, I've got marijuana in the house.
We love it when they go ahead and surrender.
Don't you know he enjoyed his trip to jail and the others told him, you dummy?
Now, you just hang out here in the back of the car. We'll drive you down in a few minutes. We got somebody over here we're actually looking for.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
But, you know, the honest thing is he now has a chance to start over and move his life in the right direction. So he did do the right thing.
Well, and that is a good point, and that's a good thing for people to do. You got a chance to change your mind, go and do a new route, that's what you should do.
You can't start over and start clean until you face up to the past.
That is right.
All right. Well, the past is all that we have for the show now. We are out of time, but we will be back again next week, and we will be looking for you, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.